Sachas Nedarim Daf Gimel asks two shilas, and then introduces a Mishnah discussing whether or not a woman who is waiting to get married can have her Nedarim mufar by her husband, and tries to show that machlokes is related to another machlokes. So let's begin. The Gemara has been discussing the shaila of if a man can be made for his wife's neder without having heard it, even though the Torah says b'yom shemai, that when he hears it. So now the Gemara says, if you want to say that the Baal could be made for his wife's neder without hearing, what if the Baal cannot hear? What if he's a cheresh? Can a deaf husband be made for his wife? On one hand, you could say it's just like the husband who didn't hear. Just like a husband who didn't hear could be made for. We want to say now, a husband who can't hear is no worse. Or do we say, no, we have the concept of Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Zera says in the halachos of mixing nesachim that you have to be at least able to mix nesachim, even though the Torah says you have to mix. And we say that mixing is not ma'akev, even if you don't mix it. But if you can't mix it, if the ratios are such that you can't mix them, that is a problem. That is ma'akev. So here also perhaps we say the same thing, although the Torah is not makbid according to what we want to say, that you actually hear it. It was lav dafka. However, you have to at least be able to hear it. So the Gemara resolves the question and bringing a brisa that says, and the Torah says, "V'shama isha," when her husband hears, that excludes a deaf person who cannot hear. Okay, now the Gemara is another shaila. Can a man who has two wives and they both made a neder, can he be made for both of them at once? Could you just say both your nedarim are mufar, or do you say no? The Torah said osa. It said v'hefer osa. So that would indicate that it's only singular. It can only be mefer for one at a time. So the Gemara says we could bring a proof from the Parsha of Sota. In the Parsha of Sota, we say you cannot have two sotos drink the sota water at the same time. What's the reason? So there's a machlokes of the reason. So Tanna Kama says because they'll encourage each other. The fact that they're not alone gives them bravery, which you don't want them to have. Rabbi Yehuda says that's not the pshat. It's because the Torah says v'hishka osa. It says you should make her drink. That is singular language. It can only be one at a time. Cannot have the two of them together. And now we get to the next mission, which discusses what happens when a woman is engaged to get married and she's waiting for the marriage to begin and it's due, and the husband is failing in his responsibilities. So we know that the halacha is that the husband has to give her food. It's a Gemara in Ksubas and in Yavamas, which we've seen that he has to feed her, and if he's a Kohen and she's not, he can even give her truma to eat from that point on. Now, what is the time at which the wedding is due? So for a Besula who's not a Bogeres, it's 12 months. She gets 12 months to prepare. For a Bogeres, the Mishnah says 12 months. The Gemara earlier had asked, it's not 12 months, it's only 30 days, and the Gemara explains, yes, that's what the Mishnah means. And for Almana, it's only 30 days. So now the question is, from that time, she's still Mekudeshes, but she's supposed to be Nesua. She has some halachas of a Nesua. She could already eat truma and get support. The husband, in exchange for his being willing to support her, does he get the rights to be meifir her nedarim or not? So Rabbi Eliezer says yes. Since he has to feed her, he also has the right to be meifir her nedarim. Chachamim say no, cannot be meifir nedarim until there's a full marriage. He cannot be meifir them alone. That is until there's nesuin and the marriage is full and complete. All right, now the Gemara says, Rabbi Lazar seems to be going according to the opinion of the Mishnah Rishona. We have in the Gemara Ksubis that there's a Mishnah Rishona is the way things used to be, and then there's the way things changed. So the Mishnah Rishona says the way things used to be with it is that they would give a psula 12 months to get ready for the wedding. When 12 months passed, if she wasn't married and it's his fault, she can eat his food and she can eat his truma. However, if she's waiting for Yavam to do Yibum, she cannot. He does not give her the right to eat truma. Now, if she was waiting part of the time for Kiddushin, she had Kiddushin, she's waiting for Nesuin, and then her Oros died, and now she's waiting for Yibum. She falls to Yibum from Kiddushin. So here, you don't share the amount. Even if she did 6 months waiting for the Oros and 6 months waiting for the Yavam, you don't put the two together. Even if she did almost a full 12 months, just missing one day by the Oros, and that one day was filled in by the Yavam, that doesn't work either. Now that's all the opinion of the Mishnah Rishona, and the Mishnah Achrona, that's the Beis Din Shalach, the court that came afterwards, they said a woman never eats truma until she actually gets married, even if the wedding is overdue. So you see, the Mishnah Shona said when the time comes, if it's done correctly, she has the right to eat truma. So that would be Rabbi Eliezer's opinion, who holds that she also has the right to have her nedarim be mufar by her husband. So Abai says not necessarily are the two halachos comparable. There's very good reasons that one is independent of the other. Maybe the Mishnah Shona says she could eat truma because truma is only a mitzvah d'Rabbanan. To be mefer nedarim is a mitzvah, is a halacha d'oraisa. Who says that a husband has the right to do that even if he didn't do nisuin yet? Now you can go the other way as well. You could say that Rebbe Eliezer only says she has the right of nedarim, the right of to be mefer, like Rav Pinchas says in the name of Rava, because she makes the neder with the understanding that her husband should have a veto power for it, and that's to any husband who's going to be feeding her, and therefore she makes it with the das that her urs could have the veto power if she's already eating from his rishus. However, truma, what does the right of truma have to do with that? It could be that that's totally independent.